There we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Let's see. Oh, no one in the chat yet. All right. Hope everyone had a good Valentine's Day and ready for another day of trading. Just a few minutes, we'll take a peek at the calendar of the day and see where the news lies, and then we'll do a small, a short overview of the market, overnight trading, and then sort of where the key levels are today, and then we'll get going. All right, Brad. Good morning. Vivian, Rodrigo. All right, Rodrigo. Good to have you. Let's get started with the calendar. You move my picture. There we go. Okay, so here we are on Thursday, 8:30 this morning. It was a lot of news. This was a massive news event. Five different points of news being delivered. Four high impact, one medium impact. And I thought yesterday, that's what I said. I said, we could get a mixed bag since there's so many different events. The likelihood that they're all aligned probably not strong. And so what we see is we have two different ones: the retail sales month over month and the core retail sales month over month, both missing forecasts by a decent amount, actually. Manufacturing index is actually dropped a lot less than they thought. They thought it would drop 13.7, and we're only down 2.4 index points. Not sure what their scale is, but we came in much better than the forecast. Unemployment claims also came in less than what the forecasted rate was. So that's also good for the economy, showing that more people are employed, or the ones that aren't are not looking. And then we also had the Philly Fed manufacturing index, just like the Empire State manufacturing index. So in Philadelphia, um, wow, there wasn't a contraction at all. Their index is increased by 5 points. So they're really optimistic compared to what the forecast was. So let's see how that impacts the market today. It's a mixed bag at 8:30. We have another event at 9:15. Um, okay, so we just missed that. So that happened already. Industrial production. Let's see if we can't refresh. There we go. Slightly less than forecast there. They were expecting a 0.2% increase and actually got a tiny contraction of 0.1%. So that's it for news. Now we have the opening bell in 8 minutes. And then at 1:15, one of the FOMC members is speaking. Let's see where he is. Due to deliver a speech titled "The Dollar's International Role" at the Global Interdependence Center and University of Bahamas Conference in Nassau. So he's on half vacation, half work event. But anyway, he's going to talk about the dependence on the dollar. So that should be interesting. That definitely is going to have an impact on the dollar itself, which should also drive our equities market. Getting back over, see if we can't finish this up quickly. If we look at the daily on the dollar, right, so far today, we've been selling heavily into this fair value gap area that was created after yesterday's candle closure. We've almost covered the entire zone. Actually, let me make it larger. Yep. We've almost covered the entire area. So we'll now need to see what price wants to do, whether we get a reversal here, right, similar to this, or whether this actually comes down even further, or we get a sweep of these lows here. Right? But in between the two, there's also this fair value gap area that it could fall into and find some support, which is also the area where this consolidation, all the candle bodies are inside of this fair value gap here, which was created on February 5th, so earlier this month. So either one of these, this fair value gap, this one, or the lower one, is where I'm expecting price to land today. Right. Get down to the hourly. 4 hour, much of the same. Right. So we see external range liquidity now trading back into internal range. So the question is, where does it find support on the internal range? Either here or the little sliver below, or sweep those lows and find the larger area. All right, and you can see even on the hour, it's just one large fair value gap with a new day opening gap sitting at 104.169. So we'll monitor these areas as we look at the dollar today. Let's now jump over, grab ES. Okay, so yesterday was a big rebound day. The afternoon had a lot of activity, especially from 2:30 onwards. So we saw a big bullish momentum the last hour and a half of the day. That actually made the fair value gap here smaller. And it's crazy because it's sitting right on top of what used to be a bullish fair value gap. So it's basically an inversion fair value gap here now. Price has already traded through this fair value gap. So it just continued its momentum from yesterday. When it reopened, it traded up and then it started to fall. So we'll see how far it wants to retrace, or whether we're going to start shooting for some of these session highs or these candle body highs. So up at 50.42 roughly. Let's get to a lower time frame and see if there's something that we can play off of today. All right, again, we have the opening bell in 5 minutes. We're starting to see a retracement. And so the question is, how far will it go? It's currently sitting inside of a fair value gap and also rejecting out of a fair value gap. So it's these two playing ping pong, and we'll see which one wins. But we also have more support here. If it doesn't find support where it is now at the 930, there's more support just below that can then propel price higher. All right, this is what I was looking at yesterday. It looks very much like a buy model. All right, you eclipse the high here, you retrace back down to the level, you push out. And let's see if we eclipse this level, and then if we get that next retracement. So if we get support here, push a little higher, get out of this fair value gap, come to the new week opening gap, which is higher than this swing high over here. And then we could see a retracement back down into the level prior to moving for these triple highs here. So I'm thinking we'll get something like this. And it may not go up from here. It may go up from here. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. All right. And quickly, let's hit on NQ before the bell comes. All right. I still have this from, I guess I put this in Sunday night when I was marking up the charts. Right, so on our daily, we did have the external liquidity here, pulled back into the range, swept some lows. Yesterday, we saw it start to build some momentum back bullish. We did not eclipse the high, so let's watch out for 2 days ago high. Yesterday's high has already been taken, just like we saw in ES. So let's also look for 17,963. Look for that level to be taken. Once that level is taken, then we'll look for other PD arrays that can support price. All right, so here on the 4 hour, We're inside of a fair value gap. So let's see how this reacts at the opening bell and the opening range up until 10 o'clock. See if it can find some footing and continue higher. If not, let's look for it to potentially come down to the fair value gap here, touch the edge, and then move on. Right. Look for it to come back and challenge this area after coming down. This is 742. We're currently trading at 881, so that's 140 points, which is a sizable retracement. So it wouldn't surprise me if we only get a little piece down and then we move up. So still have my eyes set here. So maybe we won't retrace until we get to this point. Let's drop down to the hourly. I think we have something very similar to what we had on ES, and we do. So again, this high here is where I expect the retracement to happen. So maybe we find a new day opening gap at 874. So that's not very far. Probably more likely that this happens. And then from here, then we could go higher. All right, new day open. I'm sorry, the opening bell is coming. So let's get down and watch the opening bell. We're on the 15-minute. There we go. Again, welcome everybody to today's morning session. Actually, it's spelled differently, but I'm not one of those people. It's not important. I know you're talking to me, but no. I wouldn't say I've done anything worth bragging about. I just basically made up for the losses from last week. I was down about 2K last week, so I've made up for that this week. Armando, Tommy, good morning, everyone. It looks like this 15-minute fair value gap has been a floor for price for some time, all the way through the London session. It looks like lots of wicks in here. Candle bodies generally staying above. Few have trickled into the upper quarter, the fair value gap. But for the most part, all the candle bodies have been staying above the gap, and we just have wicks. Let's see if that continues, or if now is when we see it flip and we start seeing lower prices. Already swept equal lows. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. All right, let's go in with the session highs and lows since we've already gotten the open bell. So let's take a look and see what's open. All right, we see the London high has already been taken. Asia low, Asia high taken. They're sitting right on top of each other here at 881. We just came down and tapped into the midnight. So that could actually be the floor for price right now. We see the same over here with a candle body put right on the midnight open at 130. Right now we're in between there and 830. So 830 is rejecting. Midnight is rejecting, so price is sitting in the center. That's good. The Asia low looks to still be open. Okay. All right, that's all we got. So we have the Asia low open, and then we'll have New York in 30 minutes. Okay, now it's a new day opening gap. I mentioned that was just below that it could find support and then start pushing higher. All right, Gavin, good morning. Hey, good morning. All right, Gavin, congrats again. Congrats. That's awesome. Hey, watch out for the Asia low. Down around 845, I think. 844 and a quarter. Yeah, Gavin, I've heard good things about Apex. I know friends who trade Apex. I've never had before, but I know people have, and they speak. They they have good reviews of Apex. Hey Jay, good morning. Hey, Asia low still within reach, even though there's a retracement happening now. 865 from 8. Wow, nice 20-point pullback. Still 1 minute left on the candle. Oh, laughter. Good morning. How goes it? Yeah, I'm still eyeing this Asia low. I'm waiting for it to touch in on, and so far, nothing. New day opening gap again. Let's retest that level. All right. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, the more the merrier. Yeah, I know some of you may have seen a trade pop up here, and on another screen of mine, I have in a demo account, I have a short going, trying to reach the Asia low. And then it showed up on this screen as well, but I realized I wasn't logged into my Topstep account, so I had to, the screen that you guys see, I had to log out of the demo here because it was on multiple screens, and then log into my Topstep here. So if you see a trade on the screen, it's because I'm in my Topstep account. All right, so we have the dollar continuing to melt, continue to push lower. The Dow, nice daily highs right now. All right, there it goes. Anyone looking for the Asia low? TP is hit. All right, before we get to 10 o'clock, since at 10 o'clock we have the New York low and New York high going to be placed on the screen. What I'm looking for price to do is to put in a low sometime before that and to start to build back up towards these prices up here. Therefore, when the New York low is posted, the New York low stays open. I'm going to see price charge up to the New York high. Right now, the New York high is going to be our daily high since it was created after 7 o'clock. So it's going to be at 933. So I'm looking for price to race to 933. Not necessarily race to it, but I'm looking for that to be the next target. We'll see if the dollar supports that by continuing to push lower. And we'll see if the other indices are also pushing higher. Right now, Nasdaq's the only one selling, the only one. So let's go ahead and check that out for a second. Right, so the dollar's not even in the screen anymore. Dollar's just pushing lower, pushing lower. The Dow is doing exactly what you would expect based on the dollar's activity. Even the S&P still is, I don't know if this. There we go. Why is it back in paper trading? I didn't log into paper trading. What is? Oh, no wonder. Oh, got it. I'm in the other screen. I'm in the for comparison one, not the one that I trade out of. Okay. Anyway, so even the S&P is just now starting to find its footing where it's starting to become bullish. And you can see for Nasdaq, we're still down here in the fair value gap and a huge bearish candle still for the hour. So they are doing so basically highly bullish, more neutral, highly bearish, and the dollar is bearish. So until they align, we're going to probably refrain from entering. But if we do start to see a big bullish candle on the lower time frames on Nasdaq, signaling that it might want to catch up with the other two, then that may be a time to enter because we do have a sweep of lows here. You can see this wick down low, swept lows. We also achieved the Asia low, which I mentioned. And we're inside of the fair value gap. So there's a lot of reason for price to move up, mostly because of the way price action is, but also the way the other indices are starting to buy. All right, we'll get back over. And so we'll just watch the lower time frames and see if we get a huge bullish candle that gives us an entry model. All right. This looks like the dollar is still retracing. So that large bearish candle that it had, it's retraced probably half of that already. So now we need to just make sure that it is just a retracement and it's going to continue its bearish momentum that it had and not going to flip back bullish. Right. Maybe I'm too early here. Oh, okay. Crab Nation, Germany. Hit the newcomer. All right. Awesome. 500 euros on the Dow. All right, Crab Nation. And welcome to the channel. Glad to have you. Oh, no. Hey, yes, I was early. All right, let's get back up to 15 minutes. Just so we have a cleaner screen, let me get rid of some of these session highs and lows. We'll bring those back in 5 minutes when the New York is released. Okay, so we still have the same profile we had about 10-15 minutes ago when we took a look at the hourly comparison charts. Nasdaq, as we can see on the big screen, still pushing down, pushing lower. S&P still kind of neutral. It's slightly bearish, but overall just neutral for this hour. And the Dow is extremely bullish. And not much has changed for the dollar either. It pulled back some, but it's still showing that it's quite bearish. So now the question is, which PD array are we looking for on Nasdaq? So we do have same breaker from yesterday. We could return to and find support there. When we left the area, we did not revisit the order block here. Mm-hmm. The Dow, is it going to go up or is it going to fall back? Honestly, I was expecting all three to go to move similar to the way the Dow is moving right now. So what I'm doing now is looking to see when is Nasdaq going to turn around, because it seems like S&P is not really pushing for lower prices. It's just kind of hanging out where it is, doing a little consolidation. But yeah, I'm expecting them all to travel to higher levels today. Dow, I'm just by the levels I'm looking at, I'm hoping the Dow can reach 38,825. 17,548 equal lows. Man, it could go there. It's a good ways down. 550. No, yeah, if it goes there, then I'm no longer bullish at all. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, I would argue these lows before 548. Here you have relative equal lows here on the hourly. You have a fair value gap, and you have the consequent encroachment of this breaker. So if we go really south, I'm looking at 730. But I'm hoping it can find some support before then. Yep, sniper hourly bearish breaker at the very top. 843, 17,840. All right, let's go ahead and post those New York levels now. Oh, all right. Well, we've already taken out the New York low, so really no need to post that. So all we have is a New York high that's still open. That doesn't bode well for bullish momentum when the only session extreme that's available is a high. A lot of times price runs away from that last one and leaves it open as an indication of where it's going. Mm, 740 and 760. Let's take a look. Yes, it would be because you're inside of a breaker, and then you have the fair value gap here. You also, since you have a sweep of a low here, and I think I pointed this out yesterday, there was also a sweep of that low during this move down. You swept two levels, two lows. You had a big bullish candle coming out, creating a fair value gap, trade back in and then out. So that's also the 2022 model right here. I'm sorry, right here, the 740 to 760. So it's a 2022 model and it's also a unicorn. So when you have those things sitting on top of each other all together, that's when you know you have a really solid setup. No, you do not need premium to have real-time charts. You just have to pay CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. You have to pay for that, and it's $4 and something per month, like 460 or 470 per month. But if you're in the middle of a combine, it comes with your combine payment that you make. Now, premium on TradingView gives you the ability to have more alerts. It gives you the ability to have, I think, more indicators on your screen at once. Trying to think what else. It gives you the ability to use the seconds chart if you like to trade on 30 seconds, 15 seconds, that kind of thing. It's a few of those kind of benefits you get from having premium. This. Now let's wait for it to confirm up here. Yeah, Brad, you're right. It is bad that you only get a couple of indicators for free. Um, yeah, I think in that case you got to find those indicators that are multiple in one. So you can have an indicator that gives you fair value gaps, uh, order blocks, EMAs, all of that using just one indicator is just one of those multis. So you have to find one of those that you like to use, and you can almost get the same without paying for the premium membership. Yep, there's another alternative Chuck just threw out there. Trade was not to be. Hey, Tony's. Good morning. All right, so I'm clearly long biased this morning, and I've been wrong twice. So that stops my trading for the morning. We'll take a look this afternoon to see if there's another opportunity for me. But for the rest of you, I'll continue to take a look at the charts and see if there's anything I see. My patience is not what I need it to be this morning. Okay, let's check in on our comparison chart once again. All right, so we see at far left the dollar still pushing lower. Just like previous hours, already eclipsed last hour's low. It's starting to do a little retracement now, but still bearish for the hour. The Dow's still out up front running. We now see a big push out of S&P as well, eclipsing its high of the day. And that was what I was hoping was coming for Nasdaq, and it looks like it is. I was just early, as I thought I was, but still, it could just play around here for a little bit longer. Like it's not ready to really break out of the level yet. So I'm gonna go and refill my cup of coffee, get ready for. It's now almost 10:30, so we're halfway through the session. So I just want to make sure I'm good to go. Just bear with me for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. All right, Queen. Good morning. How are you? Go back up to the 15-minute. Just look at it from a larger time frame there. Right, William, morning. Well, it's been selling bearish the last hour. Queen. It's just we got confluence on from the other indices. They're bullish so far. Well, S&P is more neutral, but the Dow is definitely bullish so far this morning, and the dollar is bearish for sure. And not to mention, Queen, I've taken 2 longs and lost both of them. So all right, let's see if we do get the retest of the breaker from yesterday. Yep, and the breaker, it's on the 1 hour actually is where it's from. Let me just label that so we all know. No, my entry was not. Actually, I take that back. Let me see. I don't think my entry was off a breaker. No. Well, at least not off of like a. I wasn't looking at the 1 minute chart or anything for breaker. I wasn't. Okay. Crab Nation. Are you still? You're trading the Dow, right, Crab? All right. Well, let's check in. Let's see what's going on with the other indices. Okay. Yeah, the last 10 minutes have not been kind. Definitely, the Dow as well as S&P. S&P is, still kind of in its consolidation zone, but the Dow has dropped 660 from. Oh man, dropped 80 points or so. Hmm. Maybe this afternoon I'll be able to be more patient and find a setup that I like. I don't know why I was impatient this morning. Okay. Yeah, good job, Crab Nation. 500 is 500. Way to go. Yeah, it does suck when you miss the opportunity. You know you've been waiting for it. Yeah, Brad. Let's let price just break down. It might walk right into that area, and then we'll see how it reacts and performs once it gets there. All right, kind of in a holding pattern. We know we have the macro coming in 10 more minutes, so that could be the reason for the holding pattern. The last 10 minutes hasn't really produced much. It's hard to see on the 15-minute candle, but you can see here on the 5-minute, we got a breakdown, and then so far just these two candles here. Mm-hmm. No, Khaled, go ahead and remind me. What did you say about price yesterday? 58. All right, 17 minutes before the top of the hour. Know there was a lot of movement back at 9 o'clock hour and towards the end of the 8 o'clock, but I just expected more out of 10 o'clock hour. Let's see. All right, so dollar is buying this hour. And now we have the Dow and we have S&P. Both have lost all the buying momentum they had this hour. We're back down to the opening price. Just remember, we have one more news event this afternoon. I believe 1:15. Yep, 1:15. We have FOMC member speaking. So that's the last news event of the day. Maybe I just do the trick. Oh, you mean the one up here? McTony's, the one right here at the midnight open? That's Sibby. Yeah, after I wasn't good at chilling this morning. I was a little bit anxious. All right, let me drop down to the lower time frame so we can watch the macro activity. Yeah, that could be it. I'm as guilty as everyone else. I try to keep myself under composure and under control without having FOMO or without impulse trading, but it gets me sometimes. Mm. Mostly trade to NQ, Crab Nation. It's mostly going to NQ. And when I say mostly, I mean like 98%. Yeah, I traded ES up until about June of last year. So I'm about 9 months or 8 or 9 months into doing NQ. Prior to that, it was about a year and a half of just doing the S&P 500. All right, you caught the turtle soup. Okay. Yep. So Vivian, we'll see what the next 10 minutes brings us. We should have a fairly decent idea of what we might be looking at right at the top of the hour. Oh, yeah, my day so far has been Khaled. My day so far has been not great. So looking forward to coming back this afternoon. There's a volume imbalance on the 1 hour. Hmm. Let me see. How did I miss that? Yeah, let's see if this bullish momentum can take out these equal highs here at 857 1/4. right? We want to see it break that level and close above. We don't want to see a retracement. And we can already see here on the 1 minute, it didn't leave a fair value gap the entire leg up. All right. 5 minutes left until we take another look to see where we think price is going. But if we can't take over these highs and close above, then I think it's pretty clear. Remember the fact that there was no fair value gaps here, and all we have is these wicks, right? It's like trend line liquidity. Price can just come and get that and sweep equal lows right here and sweep equal lows right here. All right, now that price has swept this low, let's see if that's enough to get it back over the hump. If it's not, then again, we start targeting these other lows. We can see it even better on the 5 minute. The 5 minute, you can see the trend line liquidity forming. These lows in a nice little formation. So maybe that low that was swept right here was enough. We still got a little ways to go, another 10 points or so to trade through the equal highs and then also close above. Mm-mm. Right on cue. It's 11 o'clock. Let's see if this candle can push through. All right. So right now it's not ready to declare a position, whether it's bullish or bearish. We still see this. I mean, it's making higher lows, but it's really a consolidation area. Okay. Let's see if that was enough now to push price up. Now retraced to 50% of the last hour's candle. So from here, we're either going to take out the low of last hour or we're going to move up. We just want to see where price wants to go. It's right at the 50% mark now, 829. Right, there we go. Get rid of this. Equal lows here, equal lows here. Next up. Move up a time frame. There we go. Let's get to a higher time frame now that we've had those lows. We made a new low of the day. This as well. So we push through that fair value gap once again. Again, we still have the hour breaker below that we saw price push out of yesterday. We are trending back down in that direction. Okay. 9:30 open. 887. Okay. So it swept those lows. Now you're saying you want to see it push up to 887. All right, let's see if we get any type of reversal. Right now, it's not looking that way. But we'll see what happens when it gets into the breaker and once it starts touching some of those fair value gaps that are available. Remember, this is on the 15. Let's look and see where the fair value gap is on the hour. Okay, so we do not have one on the hour with the exception of down here. We're just down around 730, around 730, another 50 points. On the 15-minute, we have it down at 760. Okay, first area I'm eyeing right now is around 760. I want to see how price reacts at 760, 758, 760, somewhere in there. All right, I'm going to put on a comparison screen for a moment. I'm going to run and grab my last cup of coffee this morning. I'll be back in just 2 minutes, and then we can review anything that comes up while I'm gone. All right, looks like there hasn't been a lot of activity since I've stepped away. Not surprising. Previous day low. Yeah, it could be. We already took the high. We take the previous day low, then we're probably going for the low before that day as well. So the low from Tuesday at 543. Oh man, I don't think I've ever looked at DXY on the 5 minute. Okay. Hmm. Oh, Khaled, you want the 543? You want it to go that low? Okay. Hey, that it might do it for sure. All right, let's switch back over to NQ since we've had our fill of the comparison chart. Yeah, I don't think anything is for sure, Khaled. I think most things are either high or low probability, and then you just let it happen. Oh, you longed? Okay. All right. Well, let's see. You longed out of the breaker, I'm assuming. Yeah, so far the way price is moving, it doesn't look like we're gonna get anything before lunch. Yep, Queen, I just looked at the 15 minutes and it looks like it is about to confirm on the 15 whenever this candle closes in the next 10 minutes. But yeah, the 5 minutes been confirmed. And it's a unicorn as well. Oh, the 880 target. Okay. Oh, you got to be 4,425. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Let's see. The 3 o'clock candle only delivered a high of, okay, delivered 887. Okay, so you got it before 4 o'clock was over. And then also during 4 o'clock, it hit 880.75. So yeah, you absolutely did. Yeah. So when you say this session, you bearish for the day? Because yeah, the morning session, we got another half hour or so, plus the lunch. So another hour and a half. And a 4 hour has a fair value gap at 741. So we could trade down to that. Or we could find our way right back to the 2021 all-time high of 17,699, that 17,700 level that price has found its way to the past couple of weeks. Ever since it crossed it the first time, it keeps bouncing up against it. We could find ourselves there once again just to test that level and see if we're going higher or lower. Hmm. Okay. All right, let me bounce up to the 1 hour because so on the 1 hour, I was thinking maybe we had a market maker buy model, right? That was my original thought. Thinking we had a buy model. We're going to get into this area, retrace a bit. So I guess we kind of did, but we didn't take these highs. But I was thinking we'd land somewhere in this fair value gap or a little bit above sometime into maybe Friday or early next week. But if I go to the 4 hour, and then I'm possibly seeing it the other way, the sell model, right? When we reach these levels, we retrace back up. Also where this level is because we passed through without retracing. So we went to here, retrace covering both levels. And now we can see a breakdown sweeping these lows and wind up down here somewhere. But either way, we're kind of in the middle. So it's decision time. Whether we're going to shoot for these highs or shoot for these lows. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, Queen, I see that. I see that structure is broken on the 1 hour. And so now the question is, will it remain or will that just be a fake out? Yep. Right, Lexart. Retracement to 785. Okay. Break even now. 850. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for price to show me more right now. It hasn't shown enough. All right, 11:30. We got a half hour left. See if let's see if price action gives us something. So far, it is not. Look at that. This has been our session this morning. This cluster of 15-minute candles. Mm. Yes, definitely have more patience than me. Yeah, I thought last hour we had put in the low because it had tapped the very low extreme of the 1 hour fair value gap. And this hour went even lower. Looks like one of those days. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Well, I've been bullish this morning, so there you have it. Yeah, this is yeah, usually that's how it goes. It stops me out and then it does what it needs to do. I fall into the same trap as other traders. Yeah. Okay, let's drop down to a lower time frame and see if there's something there to give us some optimism. Oh, my picture. Sorry. We're back. Yeah, sometimes I forget when I switch over to the comparison chart. Yeah, this is very uninspiring price action here. I have 104.6 on the dollar for the next level on the high side. Okay. Yeah, it's currently in a 1 hour bearish fair value gap. So we'll see if it pushes through there. It's already rejected the first push, but it's also inside of a larger bullish fair value gap. So it's You're going to have opposing forces. We'll see which one wins. Bullish fair value gap is much larger, but it's also older. So we'll see. Here's some really, really powerful wicks we see on the hourly from all the indices. Yep, definitely. So when you see consolidation, you just start looking to see where it might go next. But in the current moment, yeah, it's not doing anything for you. ES is pushing. Okay. Yeah, it is. You say you're driving when we got the drop. Mm. You're talking around here, so around 9 o'clock. Mm. Yeah. So on the 5 minute, I guess you could have used this candle here, and you would have confirmed it right here at 9:10. We had a push below this area and close out. The next two candles traded in 3, 4 candles, so you had 20 minutes to get in. The 9:30 actually scared you a bit because it went to the very edge of the breaker, just above it slightly. One tick above. Let me just make sure. High is 903 1/4. Yep, so it went just one tick above. So if your stop was too tight, you would have missed out. But if you had just stopped 1 or 2 points above like normal, you would have survived, and you would have, wow, yeah, 100 points within the hour. And that's what it looks like on the 5 minute. I haven't checked into the other time frames. Nah, TJ, you didn't miss anything. All of us about to fall asleep. Nothing's going on right now. A little back and forth action since 10 o'clock. Even here, like this, we got a nice swing here, but no fair value gaps to use. Let's start dropping time frames and see if we have one anywhere. Okay, we got a couple right where we are right now on the 4 minute, 3 minute, same place. Okay, 2 minute gave us several locations for a fair value gap along the way. And the 1 minute gave even more. So Only really the 1 and the 2 minute. We'll sit here on the 5 minute and see when we trade above 857. Mm-hmm. 17,853. Wait a minute. Did you mean 753, Chuck? That's exactly how it works. As soon as you get in the chair and it's your turn, then all of a sudden the trade is setting up. Or if you're at work, as soon as you go into a meeting, the trade is setting up. $8.53. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was going to go back down to 8.53. Got it. Okay. I mean, we do have equal lows here, so this is a little unsettling. You really never like to see this. Not if you're expecting price to move in the opposite direction. Now, equal lows doesn't mean that it can't come back down. I mean, it doesn't mean that it absolutely will come back down, but more than likely it will. Mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, trading markets are definitely not in sync this morning. Hopefully, this afternoon they're doing much better, and we're able to better predict the direction. Queen, you're right. Absolutely right about that. VWAP zone all morning, and some days it never breaks it. Okay. And so, Chuck, I'm not a VWAP trader, but in that case, is that when it's basically shortened? You should go short. Yeah, everything else is bullish. Yeah, let me throw this back up here. All right, we see what the dollar's doing for the hour, what it did last hour. Okay, we can now. I mean, obviously the Dow has been the strongest of the three indices this morning. Had a pullback last hour, but look at this hour so far. Again, S&P has just kind of been neutral all day, just consolidating, not doing much. But out of consolidation, we expect a bull run. The next expansion leg has equal highs right here, so that'd be a nice little thing for it to go and grab. And then we have Nasdaq, which has been trailing behind, has been the weaker of the three this morning. Had it trade back into the fair value gap here. I thought that was going to be enough to then let it join the party and go bullish like the other indices. That wasn't enough. Traded all the way down to the edge of the fair value gap. And then this hour, it's traded even lower back into the breaker from yesterday where it saw the bullish momentum. So maybe that was enough. But right now it's still slow and still showing a bearish candle for this hour. I'm encouraged by the wick, but at the same time, a little pessimistic about what's happening this morning just because of how it's been going. And it really hasn't been taking any highs. So It can make a new low and then start to rise, but before it makes a new high, it makes a new low. So still pessimistic on the Nasdaq. So this afternoon, hopefully they all align and start moving together. See what I'm saying? We had a buy up here, even a buy up here. Buy up here, didn't take highs. Buy up here, didn't take highs. Crash down, sweeping lows. Buying up again so far is not taking this high nor this high. And we saw the last candle. Let's see what this candle does. But if it starts to retrace once again, well, not retrace, but expand to the downside once again, remember we have equal lows that are never a good idea in price action if you're expecting higher prices. Yeah, you're right. High impact news was mixed this morning. I knew that was the risk that we were running into, is that one impact news event says the dollar should go higher. The other one says the dollar should go lower. So you never knew which one was going to win. But so far, it looks like all the indices are just kind of on their own program. And I haven't looked enough into how price reacts to certain news events and to whether it's positive or negative. All right, let's go down to the lower time frame and see if we get anything during this macro. And even on the 1 minute to flip. Yeah, to flip structure and get back bullish, we would have needed to have taken out 853. And prior to doing so, we made it up to 851 and a half. And then look at price now. Sweeping lows, making lower prices. I think we're going for these equal lows down at 780. I reserve the right to be wrong, as I had been this morning already, but just doesn't look good for the bulls right now. Okay, so we didn't sweep this low. So we'll see if this fair value gap provides any support. Yep, spot on, William. Spot on for sure. Mm, 26 to 15. Okay, well, you got out right on time, TJ. It went as far as 14. I appreciate that TJ. Appreciate you mentioning that it was a gamble, but you got it. Because yeah, not every single trade you take is exactly your setup. Sometimes it is a risk and a gamble, and you win those, but you can't count those as winning trades on your setup. But it's a win nonetheless. Yeah, TJ, the PM session looks like the move here. So far, we're just not getting anything that's reliable. Yep. Yeah, Khaled. That's why they preach and teach the laws of probability, and right, you find a setup that is in your favor. This probability is in your favor, and then you have to take it. Sometimes it wins. Most of the time it wins. Sometimes it loses, and it's the exact same setup. So you just have to accept it. Yeah, any ES trader, I can't imagine today being a good day for you. ES hasn't done anything. It's taken about every hour is about a 15 to 20 point swing up and down for the last 4 hours. Yep. Mm-mm-mm. All right, everyone, we've hit that time where we're at the end of our session this morning. Um, Again, thanks to everyone who's been here, everyone who's still in the room. If you're brand new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you make sure that you always get invitations to all of our sessions. You also get a reminder if you forget. It'll let you know 30 minutes before we come on, as well as when we come on. It'll say, hey, he's live. Go ahead and hit the link if you want to watch. And if you're already a subscriber and you've been here, just make sure you hit the like button on your way out. And I will see everyone in 1 hour at the 1300 session. So hopefully we have better luck this afternoon. Till then, cheers. See you.